can we just take a minute to understand that this is how much sugar is in one soda serving of a can or a beverage? So approximately 15 to 18 teaspoons of soda is located in one serving, which is insane, and I hope this makes you rethink your intake if you're an avid drinker. So today we're going to be talking about sugar-sweet beverages, mainly sodas. If you're a fan of these beverages, I hope you listen up because they may soon have a bigger price tag attached to them. So my goal in this presentation is to prove to you the harmful and dangerous health effects that sugar-sweetened beverages have on your diet and on your health, and as a result of these health effects, why taxation may be the best solution. So I've been doing a ton of research over this topic, especially since over 5 years ago I decided to cut sodas out from my own diet. So I'm very interested in educating others on the harmful health effects. I've come across 3 credible journal articles that list out the main health concerns and why taxation might be the solution. So today in talking about sodas, we will start with SSBs and how they relate to developing obesity, then how it relates to developing chronic diseases, and lastly, how a taxation might be the best solution in balancing out these health effects and the cost. So let's begin with the main health problem in our nation, which surrounds sodas and sugar-sweetened beverages, which is obesity. So plain and simple, sugar-sweetened beverages are not part of a healthy diet. They are high in sugar, obviously, and they are not nutritious in any way. They are just for enjoyment. So what I mean by this is that they simply will cause for you to gain weight. In doing research, I've come across a credible journal article titled Taxes on Sugar-Sweetened Beverages to Curb Future Obesity Epidemics. So this article caught my attention because it states that the leading cause of health loss and gain in our nation starts with diet. So shockingly enough, it is estimated that nearly 300,000 people who die per year, it is because they have diets high in sugar-sweetened beverage intake, which is a lot. So findings of this article put into clear perspective why these drinks are not part of a healthy diet. So now that you understand SSBs as it relates to obesity, let's look at how it relates to chronic diseases. So a diet high in SSB intake is directly linked to developing a chronic disease such as diabetes, gout, and hypertension. These are just some of the few. So what I mean by this is that health companies all over our nation state that the majority of the time when a person has one of these chronic diseases, it is because they have a diet that is high in soda intake or sugar-sweetened beverage intake. So through doing a lot of research on on these diseases and the contributing factor of sodas and other beverages, I found an article titled Sugar-Sweetened Beverages and Chronic Diseases. So this article summarizes that 1 to 2 servings per day of sugar-sweetened beverages leaves you with a 26% higher chance of developing diabetes. So that means 1 in 4 people will develop diabetes in their lifetime if they are an avid drinker. So that's crazy because once a month is considered occasional intake, if that just shows you where you are at with your intake. So another finding is that fructose is believed to be the ingredient in these beverages that causes acid levels to raise in a person, that cause them to get hypertension, a form of high BP, and then gout, which is a form of arthritis. So these levels being raised also leads eventually to kidney failure, which is very scary. So now that you understand the unhealthy effects that SSBs have on your health as it relates to obesity and chronic diseases, let's look at how a taxation on them might be the best possible solution. So a taxation on sodas has been the proposed solution for a while by governments and health officials all over the world as a link to their negative health effects. So in an effort to control the medical costs and the medical cases all over the world, this is probably the best solution. So basically governments everywhere and health officials everywhere believe that the negative health effects of these drinks are outweighing the positive health effects, which is none, just the positive enjoyment. So in researching articles on this topic, I've come across one titled Strategic Messaging to Promote Taxation on Sugar-Sweetened Beverages. So the findings from this article stated that sugar-sweetened beverages are gaining unwanted negative attention everywhere as it links to metabolic syndrome, chronic diseases, and obesity. So basically, the proposed solution to reduce the consumption is to tax them. A poll in America stated that 62% of people oppose this taxation, but the same poll also stated that a solution to taxation would be if it is earmarked for health-related reasons. So what this means is that the public is much more likely to accept the proposed solution of a taxation if it is linked to health reasons, which in this case, I've shown you today that it is the perfect solution. So people do truly care about their health at the end of the day, and they're going to make these sacrifices if they care about their bodies. So today we've been talking about SSBs and how they are a problem in our nation. Specifically, we started with looking at how these beverages are a major cause of obesity, how they cause chronic diseases, and lastly, we looked at how taxation could be best in hopes of lowering the medical costs and the medical cases throughout our world. So my goal in this presentation was to simply inform you of the negative and dangerous health effects that are tied to these drinks, and as a result of these health effects, the taxation is a good solution, and I hope you see that. So in this presentation, I showed you 3 credible journal articles, two specifically showing you the negative health effects and the dangers, and then 1 specifically showing you why taxation is the best option and balancing this out. So ask yourself, now that you know the negative health effects of these drinks, do you support the taxation? Because my say is yes. If you are willing to put that much sugar into your body every day, then you should be willing to cough up a few more bucks here and there too.